Jalmari, thank you very much.
Hello,
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Also, I love the Rambo poster behind with rear X. Definitely have that vibe in Sisu with Rambo and like the lone hero and everything. It's great. I originally saw this movie back in September at TIFF at Midnight Madness, and it has stuck with me all the way up till now. And when I rewatched it to prepare for this interview, it is favorite movies of the year. It is just a bloody great time. I just want to know what was the inspiration aside from like you just wanted to kill Nazis in the most goriest and brutalist of ways behind wanting to make Sisu.
Yeah, I think I just I want a film about a guy you supposed not to like mess with, in the spirit of John Rambo. Uh, that was something I've always wanted to do, and I was glad to be able to have that freedom to not to do like film and to do like a R-rated film and basically do what the fuck I ever wanted to do. So it was a really cool process.
Was there ever like a discussion that it had to be PG-13?
Yeah, there was no like when you read the script, you understand clearly what is this movie about. Like if you would make like a PG-13 movie out of this, there's no point basically.
Very fair, because it would definitely have to be toned down in terms of violence, and we could have legs flying off. And
Yeah, basically I
um,
couldn't tell the story.
Fair enough. I noticed there was some really intricate shots in the movie. For example, where Koshi is escaping the Nazis after, like, he escapes them the first time they're hunting him, and he's hiding behind the truck. And then there's the sequence where he rolls under the move on the axle to cut the gas line. What was it like getting that shot and preparing the actors and the stunts and everyone else to get that shot?
It was something I really wanted to do with the real actor, but we couldn't get the permission to do that with like live. So of course, guys are doing it, and it actually was quite easy because anyone probably could have done that because it wasn't like dangerous. Well, of course, it was a bit dangerous, but because we were not like driving very fast or anything like that, so uh, real actor was shot against green screen, so it was quite straightforward. Like one of the easiest things we had to do in this film, basically.
Well, if that was one of the easiest, what would you say was one of like the harder shots then to get done right to your satisfaction to make Sisu come to life?
Well, the third act is like the kill 'em all chapter. The end is full of really hard things to do because you have all that like the vehicles and the whole everybody like the whole all the Nazis and everything what's happening on top of the tank and all that stuff. It was really complicated and very slow to do, uh, but I'm glad we managed to pull that off in the end.
Yeah, no, it looked came together very nicely, and I distinctively remember at TIFF during the Q&A, I think you mentioned the bomb scene was all practical effects in that third act.
Yeah, you mean the when the plane comes?
Oh, it was when the plane comes down. Yeah, that was all practical effects.
Yeah, that was like I guess it was like 3 days work of a big SFX crew to like drill dynamite into the swamp, like a lot of dynamite. It was over 100 kilos of dynamite. We had some exploded.
What's the process for you to like go to a studio executive and be like, I want to do this practically. I want like just tons and tons of dynamite because you only have one shot then, I'm assuming. You don't get a second take on that. So there must be more nerves than normal to get a shot like that because you know everything has to go perfect. So
Well, it wasn't a process like you think it was because uh, when I had the script ready, and me and the producer Petri Jokiranta, we made a deal with Sony about this. It was clear that we are making the decisions. It wasn't like a conversation of how you're gonna do it. It wasn't just this is what we're gonna do, and do you want to be part of it? That was really important in the beginning to have that all that freedom to make the choices what you want to do. Again, like normal studio movie where everything is so much harder.
Can we talk about the cinematography a little bit? Because there's so many like gorgeous shots and so many just moments that just completely blow the audience's mind. Specifically after he jumps into the water and the Nazis like essentially like go get him. He's just doing all of those kills underwater. It almost looks like a Disney nature doc in how gorgeous it is. Like, what was that like shooting, presumably actually underwater, and having him take breaths out of the slit throats? Like, what? How did that all come together and turn out like shooting wise?
Last day of shooting, we we had this one night basically in this really big pool, which is like training for like the Coast Guard kind of guys for build that big pool, and hard like to have the communication go through underwater and having the actor to be there. That 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 was really hard. Like I never could have pulled that off myself. Like spent quite a lot of time and with all the takes, there's a diver coming and he's taking more oxygen and the diver goes away and we shoot again and as many takes as we need and it that was really hard to do.
Would you say that one shot, like that one, like that 5 minute segment, probably had the most shots of the entire movie?
Yeah, it was definitely the hardest one to do because like there's not too much material from that day. Basically, you we have the ones we actually used in the film because it was so hard to pull off.
Just before we wrap up here, there was an 8 year gap between Big Game and Sisu. I know there's nothing officially announced yet, but is there anything going on in your mind that you can talk about that's coming up, or do we have to wait another 8 years before we get some signature badassery out of you?
Yes, I'm hoping to shoot even like on this year or at the latest next year. I'm gonna shoot the next one. I have a lot of projects now and in different stages, and let's see but I can promise that it's gonna be something really badass action kind of stuff because now I really got into it and I won't let it go yet.
Fair enough. Any insight into what the storyline's about, or that's all cut down to top?
I can't tell anything about that.
Fair enough. All right, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.